Hi everyone, so welcome to today's video. Today is going to be the second part of my Best in Beauty for 2022. This is going to be the category of bronzers, blush, and highlight. I feel like we're going to be talking about one of my favorite categories, the blush category, and it's going to be a long one. I have so many good options to share with you, but we're going to get started with bronzers. So the first bronzer is a bronzing stick, and this is from Rare Beauty. This is the shade called Power Boost, and this is what I'm wearing today, and I will include a demo showing you how easy it is to just take the product and just kind of draw it on and blend it in with your fingers. A brush, a beauty sponge is the method that I like to use, and I feel like it works the best. But honestly, the formula is so easy. Even a beginner can make this work. It is just such a great formula. It's creamy. It's blendable. It's not super wet looking on the skin like some other products. And I will show you another bronzing product that has a very emollient base that leaves this kind of glass skin look to your face. But this is not going to do that. This is going to just blend in over liquids, over powders. It's a beautiful formula, and it's one of my favorite products from this brand that I would recommend 100%. It's a 10 out of 10, and the formula is perfection on this. Next is the Makeup by Mario Skin Enhancer. This is a Softsculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer. That's the full name. So this one is the one that I was talking about earlier that's very emollient. And I actually do like using my brush to kind of swirl. I have like a big indentation in the very center. This is a very creamy product that actually leaves a dewy finish to the skin where it looks like a nice glow. There is no shimmer or glitter or anything like that in this product. It's creamy, but it does leave that dewy finish. So if you are wanting a bronzer or something that can kind of give a tint to the skin without having that super kind of glossy look, try the bronzing stick from Rare Beauty. This one actually does look very emollient on the skin, and it blends beautifully. I've used this over foundation, but it's also really nice to just use it on its own with nothing else or as a base before foundation. And what this is going to do is actually tint the skin. It's going to be a very, very light tint. It's not going to be a very heavy bronzing look to the skin, and I like it because it's just so easy and effortless, and I like that kind of dewy. Sometimes if I want to kind of tone that down, I will use a powder bronzer over the top, but this one is just great that is sort of multitasking. I can use it over foundation or on a no makeup day just to kind of make my face look a little bit more alive. If I have gotten some color on my body through the summer and my face hasn't matched that quite yet, this is a product that I will use to kind of bring my face closer to my skin tone on my body. So a great product from Makeup by Mario. My next bronzer is from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Beautiful Skin Sun Kiss Glow Bronzer. It's a mouthful, but it's a huge disc shape. You definitely get a lot of product for your money, and I will show you what that product looks like. I've been working towards the bottom of it because I recently started dipping my brush, which is something I normally never do. I just always either use clean fingers to pick up the product and kind of place it and then blend with a brush. But I wanted to see how much I was going to pick up directly with a brush, and I love both methods. I feel like I prefer using my finger to pick up the product and sort of melt the product into the skin because I can see little bristles from my brushes inside of this product, and I can't stand that. It just drives me nuts. So I'm going to clean that out after I finish this video, but I would prefer just kind of picking it up with my finger and just dotting it and then blending. It is a beautiful formula. It is a cream, but it goes on creamy and blendable, but it wears like a powder, and it has like this very silky, very different texture than anything else that I've owned in my collection, than anything else I've ever tried. And it truly is a stellar product. I love this color. I believe it's medium. Yes, medium 2 is a shade that I have because this was something that was very difficult to find and keep in stock. So I chose the medium, and it's probably a little bit dark, a little bit more golden, but I still feel like I can make it work, and I still love it just as much. They do have a lighter shade than this if you want to try the fair. They do have that option as well, but I think medium works, and it's that nice, really pretty golden color without being too orange or too cool where it looks more of like a contour. So moving on to blush. I have quite a few to share with you. This was really hard. It's one of my most favorite categories and products to use, and I could not narrow it down to just one blush or one in each category. I had to share with you a few options. So I'm going to start off with my stick blush, and I only have one in this category, and this is from M Cosmetics. These are the So Soft blush sticks. The shade that I have is Baby, and it is a beautiful, pretty light pink shade. It's just that kind of like that baby doll kind of peony pink kind of color without looking super crazy. It's very flattering, and the formula is just, it's dynamite. It's so, so good. It's creamy, it's blendable. I like to take it on the back of my hand and then take a brush and then apply it. I love using this on its own, but I also love layering it with other products, other liquids, other creams, even putting a powder. I've blended this over powder before and it looks beautiful. It doesn't skip, it doesn't drag. It wears so well, and the formula of this is just really, really great. And I do want to purchase some more from this brand. I feel like this formulation is just so, so good. I love it. So I have a couple options for liquid. I picked up just one from my collection. This is the Rare Beauty liquid blushes, and these are incredible. One of these will last years. Why? Because they are incredibly pigmented. You only need the tiniest little bit. Like what you get on this applicator is way too much. You have to take off some of that because you're going to use too much, or you're going to end up wasting it, because you only need the tiniest little bit. Like one dot is enough to really get that impact on both cheeks. And like I said, it will last a long time. And I have quite a few. I have full sizes, I have little minis from kits that I've gotten over the years, and I feel like this is one of their best products. The bronzing stick is fantastic, their primer is great, and then the blushes. I feel like the liquid blushes cannot be beat from this brand, and they're so affordable, and they have a great range of colors, and they wear so well. You won't be disappointed if you try it. So the last ones in that liquid blush category, I have to hand it to NARS. These are the NARS liquid blush. So I have Orgasm, which is their cult classic color. Everybody knows NARS for their Orgasm blush. It is absolutely beautiful. It's that peachy pink with a golden shimmer to it. It's stunning. Then I have Dolce Vita, which is a little bit more on the warmer side and just a little bit more kind of like that deeper berry. And then I have the newest shade that they came out with for the holidays in Behave, which is more of a mauve. I purchased Dolce Vita first, and it's the one that I've used the most. And I was not prepared for the level of pigment that this was going to give. The first time I used it, I did one full pump and I blended that and I looked like a freaking clown. No joke. This is incredibly pigmented. You need the tiniest little bit, like a little drop. And that is sufficient to do your entire cheek area on both sides. If you do a full pump, you're using too much. This is so pigmented. These pack so much pigment. It's unbelievable. So this is kind of like a use with caution kind of thing, because you don't want to use too much. You don't want to waste the product. They are a little bit pricey, but they're going to last forever. Like this will last me the rest of my life. Like there's no way that I could ever finish up one of these in its entirety. There's just no way. It's not possible, because it's the tiniest little bit, and even then I feel like it's too much. And the color range is beautiful. They don't have that many options to choose from. If I had to narrow it down to one that I would recommend for someone to start off with, I would say Orgasm is a great place to start if you're wanting to explore this brand's liquid formula. It's a pretty peachy pink color that can be used year round. It's beautiful for spring and summer. Absolutely just magical. The color is just right, and it has a bit of a golden sheen to it, which I feel like makes it look just so beautiful on the skin, and they blend so well. Like you just can't go wrong with this formula at all, and hands down it's one of the best, and that is why it's in this Best in Beauty for 2022, because that's when I started sort of, I guess you could say, collecting some of these. So now we get to talk about powder blush, and I have quite a few to show you, but these in my collection are just absolute standouts. So the first ones are from Laura Mercier. This one here is called Strawberry. It's the one that I'm wearing today. In fact, I'm wearing a few of these today. Strawberry is your perfect, just matte pink color. It's creamy. It's just, it was a color that was out of stock for a very long time. And when I purchased mine, it was the last one on the shelf at Ulta. I believe it was Ulta that I picked it up, or even Sephora. It was the last one, regardless of where it was, whichever one of those two stores. It was the last one, and I snagged it. I was like, yep, you're coming home with me, and I do not regret a thing. It is beautiful. It's perfection. It's that pretty pop of pink that just looks like a natural flush. It's like that kind of cold girl look that is very popular right now because we are in the winter months, that just that pretty natural rosy flush. This gives you that, and it's perfect. The other option that I absolutely love is All That Sparkles, also from Laura Mercier, and this one is just a beautiful light peach with a bit of a sheen to it. I love using this on its own for that very light, barely there blush look when I like that look, but I do love blush, so I'm going to layer. More is more, right? This is also a great topper to any blush formula. It just adds the most beautiful just touch of radiance to the skin. I cannot put into words how much I adore the way this looks when it's worn. It is perfection, and it's also beautiful in the crease, on the lids, your main eyeshadow color. It's just so good, you guys. Absolutely love this. The next blush is from RMS. I did apply some of this as well today, and you will see that in the demo. This is beautiful. I have the shade called French Rose or Rosé, and I love these blushes. They came out a couple of months ago, and I have used this so much. I find myself mixing this with other products. I find myself using just a light bit of this as a dusting over the top like I did today for that overall radiance and that kind of like, I don't know, that juiciness to the cheek. I don't know how to describe it. It's just so good. And it's like you have to try them to kind of get that experience and that feel for it, because it's just a beautiful formula. And I don't have much from this brand, but this is just something that blew me away. I love this color. It is perfection. And talk about how pretty it looks. The pan is just so great. And if you see my camera moving, if you notice that, that's my toddler that's on the other side moving around, and she keeps hitting my tripod. But this is just so good. You have to try them. And they have different options. They have some that are a little bit more deep looking. They have like some that are more peachy and kind of orangey. A good range of colors, and you cannot go wrong with this formula. The next one and the last one is from Bare Minerals, and this is the Blonzer. This is supposed to be your blush and bronzer together. I don't see that, just because this tone, which is Kiss of Pink, I wouldn't use this as a bronzer, but this is a beautiful color on its own. Or like I use some of the Laura Mercier All That Sparkles, like that little bit of radiance and that topper feel. Also RMS does the same thing. Okay, so the camera is changing because the sun keeps coming in, then it goes away and it gets dark and cloudy, then I'm washed out, so please bear with me as I get through this. But back to the Blonzer from Bare Minerals. It's such a pretty pink color. They only have, I think, 3 shades, and this was a product that was out before and then they brought it back. So it's just one of those products that I feel like is soft, light, and gives a bit of radiance to the skin because there is a bit of a sheen to this. But it's also great to be worn as a topper. So if you put like a cream blush or a liquid blush and you want to amp that up just a little bit or add a bit of glow, this is a product that I would recommend for that. It's very light. It's so pretty. And like I said, there's only 3, and this is the shade that I feel like is the prettiest out of all 3. And this is Kiss of Pink. Now highlighters. I have a lot of highlighters. It's one of those things that I wear every single day. I don't skip it. I absolutely love highlighters. So the first one is the MAC Soft and Gentle. This is an OG. This is a classic. This has been out for years and years and years. It's older than my kids, okay? I love this. This is just such a beautiful champagne highlighter. You see some veining in there with different colors, a little bit of touch of gold, and when you swirl all this together, it creates a beautiful glowy magic on the skin. I absolutely love it, and it's one that I reach for so often, and it's one that I will have for a long time because you just need the tiniest little bit to create that impact. If you use a big fluffy brush, you can get a soft kind of glow. Today, I went a little bit more than just a little bit of glow, okay? I went all for it, and I'm using my cream highlighter from Rosy Ink in the shade Opalescent, and I absolutely love the glow. This is such a good formula, and let me cover the mirror not to blind you, but it is the prettiest pink shade. It's an icy pink that just looks flattering on the skin, and it just is that beam of light. You can definitely layer this to make it more intense. You can use the smallest amount just for a little bit of something. I've used this also on my lids. I've used it in my brows for like, or my brow bone, not my brows. I've used it for my highlight for my brow, inner corner. I've used it like down my nose, Cupid's bow. It's just beautiful. I love the formula, and I think the shade is just right. It's not too light where it looks too frosted and like a strip of white, but it's not too pink where you can see too much depth to it. Because if you use like a highlighter for someone like me, very fair, if I use like a really like rich rose gold, you will see like that stripe. It needs to be a shade that kind of blends with the skin and kind of melts, and it just looks good. And that's what this is for me, because I am very light. And I feel like this, you can't go wrong. There's a couple different options in this range to choose from. So if you have darker skin, there's one for you. Medium tan, there's one for you as well. There's one that's a little bit more golden. I have it. I have not played with it too much to really sort of kind of say this is the best one out of the range, because like I said, I haven't used it that much. This one is my favorite, and it is one of my favorite cream highlighters. Like, just yes. All around yes. And then my last highlighter is actually a liquid form, and it is the Beauty Light Wand from Charlotte Tilbury. I just grabbed one from my collection. I have a few of these to kind of mix and match, and I love this formula. This one in Spotlight is a beautiful golden color. It's like a champagne. Mine is absolutely filthy, so let's just gloss over that. I like the sponge tip because you can, if you want, go directly onto the tops of your cheekbone and blend it that way. I like to put it in the back of my hand or a makeup palette and work from there. I do love the way this looks. Like, if this was the only liquid highlighter that I had, I wouldn't be disappointed. I would be so happy, because this is beautiful. There is a reason why these are hard to get your hands on. They're absolutely stunning, and they are just incredible. The formula is great. The packaging I don't like so much because it is messy, but that doesn't stop me from using it. It won't stop me from purchasing more or repurchasing this color. The Spotlight is absolutely incredible. I have the Pillow Talk one, which is more of like a pinky color. So good. So good. Just try it. Do yourself a favor and get one of these Beauty Light Wands from Charlotte. You will not be disappointed, and you will thank me later after you try it, because it's absolutely worth every single penny. Hands down, the best. Okay, and that's it. That's all of my bronzers, blushes, and highlight picks for this past year of 2022. The ones that I discovered in this year, ones that I have used for a long time, like the Charlotte Tilbury. I've used that for more than a year. It is just perfection. I love these products. I hope that you will love them as much as I do. If you try any of these based off of my recommendation in today's video, please come back and let me know what your feedback is. I would love to hear from you. And I hope that my favorites become your favorites too. And if you'd like to share some of your favorites in the comments of what you have been loving so far this past year, let me know, because I do want to hear from you and I want to try new things. I love trying products, and you guys have the best recommendations. So thank you so much for being here, for watching today's video. I hope that you will enjoy it, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this in the future. That sun, I tell you. You can follow me on Instagram. It's always on the screen. I hope to connect with you there. Stay tuned for the next portion of this Best in Beauty for 2022, which is going to be eyes and lips. I'm excited for that one. Hope to see you there. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.